First of all, I would like to tell you it was a pleasure discovering your music.
Thank you very much.
I haven't heard of it, and I really like it, and think this third album of yourself is great. So, first of all, what comes to my mind is that after listening the first and second albums, that this third album has a great production in sound, in like horn arrangements, background vocals, everything. So, can you tell me? Do you feel this is much better than your first album? And how did the production work and everything?
Yeah, I do feel it's quite a significant leap um, from the previous album. Mainly, I suppose, for me, in terms of the songwriting, I think that's I paid a lot more attention to the songwriting, and I think it's a lot more honest as well, a lot more personal, and a lot more true to who I am.
Good.
Um,
And because you release your albums as yourself as an artist, the
yeah,
do the musicians are the same musicians from the previous albums, or did you get new collaborations? Or
it's not exactly the same band, but the producer and the bass player on the album is a guy called Stefan Reffenbacher, and both of the albums were done using his kind of his house band, his studio band, which wasn't identical, but the core of the band was the same in that it was him and Mike Sturgis on drums. And then on this album, we had Carter Arrington on guitar, Dave Lamina on keys, and he sorted out the horn players as well and the backing vocals. So it was kind of the same team, but not exactly the same people, if that makes sense.
okay. And because you play like music that is like from some decades ago, like your style. I guess that you record the albums like the old way, like playing all together in the same room, or how do was that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, basically, it was done over 3 days or so, and we laid down all the tracks, and then I overdubbed some vocals and stuff later, and a bit of guitar as well. But yeah, it was mainly all done in the room, live, just playing together. And we didn't really have the luxury of time. On the way these albums are made nowadays, you don't have much money, so you have to just do it as efficiently as you can. So we didn't really have you know, the luxury of being able to do stuff over and over and over again. So we had to just record the tunes as as quickly and as efficiently as we could, and then move on to the next one. And yeah, like I say, we had 3 days to do it. So
Mhm. Yeah, like you mentioning the budgets and stuff and the studio time. Like you're pretty young and you're writing your third album, but I mean, we could say that you're pretty starting your music career, and you're in a point that you already can make a living out of music, and the record labels give you budget for recording, or you're still struggling and having to.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I do make a living from music, and the record company did pay for the album. Yeah, but you know what it's like in the music business nowadays. Everyone's, there's no money, or there's not as much money in making albums as there used to be. So the budgets are just much tighter generally. Obviously, live performance is still a big way that musicians earn money and merchandise and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's expensive to record albums. It hasn't changed. Since the 90s, it's only got more expensive, but the income that you make from albums is obviously significantly less. So record labels aren't willing to invest as much money as they would have been. And I mean, you know all this. It's all pretty standard stuff, but
Yeah, and especially albums like yours, because nowadays a lot of people like here I have my home studio, and many people have a home studio, and a lot of music it's created on a laptop or just in a home studio.
yeah,
Albums like you need like a decent studio with big room, and
yeah, basically, yeah.
so and keep talking about the album. How do you write your songs? Also, because well, I would like to know how do you compose, and also like how do you do the arrangements? Because there's a lot of very nice horn arrangements for the album. I don't know if you write them yourself or you get an arranger, so you can tell me a little bit.
So the songs all start basically me and an acoustic guitar, Um, that's how I write all my songs, really. And then, yeah, obviously they grow, and I bring them to the band. And yeah, in terms of the horn arrangements, they were done by Stefan, the producer that I mentioned before. He played bass on the album as well. Um, but in terms of the core of the song, I mainly write on my own. There were a couple songs that were co-written with Stefan in that he helped me sort of tighten up the arrangements slightly, but the core of the song is just me, on my own with an acoustic guitar, just messing around with ideas and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much always been my process since I started writing, really. And a few of the songs from this record are quite old
Hmm.
songs that I wrote when I was much younger, like when I was 17 or so. And yeah, just written in the same way, me in my bedroom, late into the night, just with my acoustic guitar,
Hmm.
just messing around with ideas and stuff. And yeah, that's always been the process that's worked the best for me.
Uh, and do you keep up with technology? I mean, do you use computer to record stuff using like Pro Tools or Logic or something like that, or?
I don't really. I use my phone to record voice memos and stuff. You know, that's my main way of like writing down or keeping track of my ideas so I don't forget them. But yeah, I don't really know how to use Pro Tools or Logic or any of that stuff. I'm very I mean, I like technology and I like computers and things, but I've just never really taken the time to learn how to use that software.
Okay. I read that mental health is like a big part of this album, and nowadays is a topic that more people talk about, mental health and the importance of talking about that. So I would like to know if you can explain me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I guess one of the main kind of themes of the album is like identity and struggling to come to terms with your identity and who you are and belonging in the world. And it's something that I've personally felt that I've kind of struggled with through my life. And yeah, some of the songs, I mean, there's one song called Amelia, which is one of the songs I mentioned before that I wrote many years ago when I was 17, 16 or 17. And that was written about a particular person who was going through some pretty severe mental health issues. And yeah, I guess it's kind of come full circle in a way because the person that I'm with now, my girlfriend, she's also been struggling with some pretty severe mental health things. And it wasn't a conscious decision for me to revisit that track because of that, but I guess it's just kind of some synchronicity that's sort of happened in my life. But yeah, the songs are just about, I mean, and the album in general is just about identity and coming to terms of who you are and your place in the world, and just the struggles that we all go through really on a day-to-day basis. That's just a part of being a person, really, or being a human being.
Mhm. Yeah, I also read about that, talking about identity, and sometimes people expecting you to be more than but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
it's curious because you talk about that, and you probably have your feelings about that. But I feel you have like a very strong musical identity. I mean, I hear your albums and it's like, wow. I mean, you have your sound, your style, a very like sensitive way of singing and playing, because both relate, singing and playing. So I think you have a very strong musical identity compared to what.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So and I want to get into uh, what I mean, you're very young, and what drove you to get into this kind of music that it's like from a few decades ago.
Um, I mean, I was first exposed to it, like many people, through my dad. Uh, he's a big music fan, um, particularly like classic rock and stuff and 70s rock, but also some blues like Cream and Free and all the kind of British blues stuff. That was a big crossover thing, and obviously Eric Clapton. And when I heard particularly Eric Clapton as a young boy, it kind of just yeah, just really struck a chord with me. And I just fell in love with his style and his playing. And then I kind of wanted to just find out what he was inspired by. You know, the same as many musicians. I just got really, really into the blues and into the whole, you know, the discovery aspect of it, like going back and trying to find out as much as I could. And yeah, for whatever reason, the music just really, really hit me in a powerful way, and just fell in love with it straight away. And you know, that hasn't changed in all these years since. Still, it still moves me very deeply. And yeah, I don't know. Just really, really love the blues,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, and I read like you love the American roots music and a lot of American blues players, but that was something I was gonna mention. Yeah, that like in United Kingdom you have like great British blues players like Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, John Mayall. By the way, last Friday I had an interview with Walter Trout. He was
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Mayall and Alvin Lee, Peter Green. I mean, so you tend to listen more to the American blues or also like the British at the same level?
Well, I love it all really. I mean, the British stuff was my starting point, I would say.
Mm.
Like that's the music that initially I felt I could identify with the most, particularly Eric Clapton, and then you know, the Beano album, and also but his album from from the 90s called From the Cradle. I don't know if you know it,
Yeah, yeah.
where he sort of did well his version of really authentic blues, like Chicago blues and stuff. And for me, that was like a sign, like if he's doing it, you can do it, sort of thing. Like middle class white English man, or I was a boy at that time, obviously, but that gave me in my mind that was that gave me the impression that maybe I could do it and do it in an authentic way as well. Yeah, and that album opened my mind to like Freddie King and Otis Rush and Eddie Boyd and Lowell Fulson, you know, all these old original blues guys, which I then fell in love with just as much.
Mm.
And then that led me on to like soul and jazz and R&B and you know just the whole spectrum of American music, really.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's whole bunch of people. And and when I was listening to your singing, it kind of remind me a little bit of Van Morrison style, the way of singing.
Yeah, yeah, I love Van Morrison as well. Yeah.
And I was wondering who have been your major guitar heroes or singing heroes, like your main influences, like for singing and for guitar playing.
So for singing, I mean, the reason I started singing at all is because of Ray Charles, basically.
Uh,
I watched the film Ray and just fell in love with his music, and it's really kind of you know, to this day, I listen to him every day. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I hadn't have discovered it. It really completely changed, you know, my whole perspective on music and everything, really. And yeah, that was what kind of inspired me to sing because I wanted to just sing like him. And and then yeah, that kind of opened my mind up to all the R&B stuff, like I was saying before, and jazz and country and western music even, because he did all of that through his career. And yeah, you know, so he's my main one. Then all the people like Aretha Franklin, obviously, not that I sound anything like her, but Bill Withers, he was a big inspiration for my songwriting as well, because I really, really love his kind of very simple and straightforward style and delivery. You know, his songs are about very basic things, but they're very meaningful and they have a lot of depth. Um, even though they're ostensibly quite simple. And that's something that I always strive to do in my music as well, like try and capture a bit of that. But yeah, in terms of the guitar, like I say, Eric Clapton was the main one. BB King, Freddie King, Albert King, Otis Rush, uh, you know, all those guys. Paul Kossoff from Free, Peter Green. Um, yeah, you know, all the blues guys basically.
yeah, all the great names. When you mentioned Ray Charles, I got the chance to see him when I was very young with my father. I saw him live
Really.
in Barcelona. Yeah.
What year was that? Do you remember?
I'm 51, so I probably was like 14, I would say. I don't know, or 12 or 13. So it would be like,
Did you enjoy it?
yeah, it was great. Yeah, yeah, because I first played piano, then I moved to guitar. So I was
Oh, brilliant.
starting with the guitar and loving music, and my father was like a classical guy. You know, he would like love classical music, but some of the old stuff like the old rock and roll, Elvis or
Yeah, yeah,
Ray Charles, he liked it. So I was the only one who would go with him to the concert. So we went together, and it was great because he was playing with a big band, and
yeah.
and he was playing with Maceo Parker that he was opening
Oh, yeah.
big
Oh,
band.
brilliant.
So it was Maceo Parker opening, and then Ray Charles with Maceo with the big band, and it was like
Oh, amazing.
amazing. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only good thing about being older.
Yeah. I never got to see Ray, obviously, but I got to see Maceo Parker a few years ago in London. That was a fantastic show.
Yeah, well, in London you have like, do you live in London, by the way? Do you live there?
Yeah, well, I live very near London, not quite in London, but yeah, basically.
Okay, yeah, but you got the chance. You have many concerts. Good, like, how is this? How is the music scene right now in London? Is it good? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it's I think the blues scene in the UK in general is quite strong at the moment. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Uh, Lots of great bands out there. And I think compared to like other styles of music, there's a very strong kind of grassroots blues scene,
mm,
which I don't really think there is in other styles. Like I think if you're a pop singer or a soul singer or whatever, when you're starting out, it's much harder to find gigs that pay and to find an audience that will listen to you. Whereas in the blues scene, there's a really strong network of clubs and people who will go out and support unknown artists, you know.
oh, that's great.
So I'm very grateful to have that in the UK. I'm not sure if it's the same in Spain, but
No, here mostly all gigs in bars and pubs are playing covers from Spanish,
oh, really?
which is really terrible in general, and making it with your own music here is pretty difficult. So
Yeah,
most professional musicians will live from playing with artists or playing covers or Broadway shows, things like that.
yeah,
I do my music with one of my bands, but it's pretty difficult, you know. So
yeah. I mean, I guess that's true to an extent here, but yeah, I'm very grateful that there is a small network of clubs and stuff that still put on original music that's in the blues world.
yeah, yeah, right now, like there's like a caravan of young people doing blues and 70s rocks, like pretty big. Like this Thursday, I'm gonna see Marcus King and the band
Oh, sweet.
and the band The Wolf, you know, from Netherlands.
Yes, yeah, I do.
It's like a double concert. They play in the same concerts. First play The Wolf, then Marcus King.
Oh,
So
amazing.
yeah, and they are amazing. And I was wondering, do you have do you have any relation with any of the young cats playing blues like these guys or
Not really those guys. I mean, I've been a fan of Marcus King for many years. I saw him in 2016 um, when he first came over to London. So that was really cool when he was basically unknown playing in like small bars, you know.
Mhm,
And I got to meet him and talk to him. But, uh, I'm not really, I spoke to him a bit, but
mhm.
obviously he's a megastar now. So
Well, but I'm sure you're gonna make it big soon. So you probably
I
will.
hope so.
And all these players usually are very nice people. Actually, the guitarist from The Wolf recorded the song with my band with in one in
Oh, really? Excellent.
our new album. Yeah, so the usually when I get to interview people like that and talk, they are all super nice, and you're gonna make it. So for the future, what dream would you have in terms of collaborating with? Who would you love to record with, or singers, musicians?
It's a good question. In terms of like contemporary artists, yeah, maybe Marcus King would be a good one. Gary Clark Jr. maybe. Um, who else? Derek Trucks. I think Derek Trucks is the best guitar player on the planet, probably at the moment.
The
Well,
Slash.
in the blues soul world. Uh, yeah, people like that, I guess.
I'm sure you will make it. So, and I will be listening to it.
Well, thank you.
So, anyway, so far you have had some important points in your career already. I read you opened and shared stage with big bands like The Who, Pearl Jam, Johnny Marr. So
Yeah,
how was it? How was it for you?
yeah. The Who gig, that was an incredible experience. Really, I mean, it changed my life. Needless to say, that was 6 years ago last week. So
Mhm.
yeah, kind of. I mean, what can I say? It was just an incredible experience. I'm so grateful to have done it. Uh, One of the biggest thrills of my life, just being a part of that and being in that world for a day and getting to watch the Who from the side of the stage. Um, and just being on that stage at all, the Wembley Stadium stage, just incredible. Um, yeah, the Hyde Park gig was amazing as well. Um, yeah, just really, really incredible, and just so grateful to have been able to do that at that time.
Mhm. Did you have time to hang out with them or not that much?
Not really, to be honest. The Who, Roger and Pete uh, didn't arrive until shortly before they played, but we were hanging out backstage, and we got to meet a few other people and got to speak to Imelda May, who's one of the other artists on, and yeah, just being in that world for a day, just hanging around those people, yeah, it was just really, really amazing. It's really incredible.
And I think you also opened for two artists that I really like. Robert Cray, with like
Yeah,
he's like a great blues player and singer,
yeah,
and Beth Hart, who for me is like one probably the best rock singer actually right now.
yeah. I think I agree with you on that one. Yeah, yeah, they were incredible as well. Um, Beth Hart, yeah, what can I say about her? Just an absolute mega talent, just an incredible artist, probably one of the most powerful artists that I've seen in my life. There was one bit in her show where she just sat on the end of the stage with her legs dangling off the stage, pitch black with the spotlight shining on her, and it was just incredible. Like it's like unlike anything I've seen in my life. Just so powerful, and it was just her a cappella.
Yeah, I saw her in Berlin a few years ago. And for me, I was talking with Walter last week about that too. For me, has been one of the most emotional concerts I've seen in years.
Yeah,
I mean, it brought me to tears for like 15 minutes. She just left. There, she was playing with the band, but then she just came to play like 6 or 7 songs just with the piano herself.
yeah,
And she was talking about all, you know, in each song she would talk about why he wrote that song, and it was so emotional what she would say, and then she would play it, and like it's like the tears were like it's incredible. So
yeah. She is a special artist for sure.
and
And Robert Cray as well. Just incredibly soulful guy, super generous. I mean, Beth was super nice as well, super supportive. Um, Obviously, I love Robert Cray, and he's probably an artist that I relate to more than Beth on a musical level. But yeah, I just learnt so much watching him and hearing him sing and play. His band are incredible. Yeah, just brilliant.
yeah. And now that I was talking about this of Beth singing with the piano, you have like a very nice song at the end of the album called Songbird, which is like on
Yeah,
acoustic guitar. So would you plan also doing some parts of the shows, or even a full album just acoustic guitar and voice? I mean, last time I saw Marcus King in Spain, he did the same. He just was playing with the band, and then he just came to play like 3 or 4 songs just on acoustic guitar. Brian
yeah,
Adams did the same. So, do you contemplate doing some things like that?
yeah. Basically, I'm starting to do that in my shows a bit. I also have, I've done solo gigs for years, just playing on my own, and I really love to do that. in some ways, I think it kind of fits my temperament more. Like a part of me always wanted to be like a folk singer, like Nick Drake or something, or
Mm.
you know, just me and my guitar. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'm starting to do and I plan to do more of in the future, 100%.
Wow, nice. Yeah, but don't lose the other thing too, because I like the way you improvise a lot. You're very subtle and gentle playing,
Oh, thank you.
have good style. So don't lose that.
No, I'm not going to lose that. Don't worry. I couldn't if I wanted to be fair.
So are you planning? I saw you have plenty of gigs in UK and just two or three in some other places in Europe, but are you trying to plan to come on tour all around Europe presenting the album? And do you think you're gonna be able to make it to come to Spain to play?
Yes, I would love to come to Spain. I've played there once before, a couple of years ago, and it was great. I haven't got any immediate plans, but yeah, definitely one of my big goals for next year is to do more stuff in Europe in general. And I know that in Spain they love the blues, and I had a great time there when I went there before. So I definitely would love to come back. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to see you here. It would be great seeing you perform here. And I would like to talk a little bit about your sound, guitar sound, because I really like it. And so you can tell me a little bit what kind of guitars, how do you like to set up your amps, pedals, how is your gear, like a little bit.
Yeah, so I mainly just play a Les Paul, um, and I've got a sort of Fender Tweed style amp. It's a Lazy J. I don't know if you've heard of that brand.
What,
It's kind of a boutique.
what's the?
Lazy J, it's called.
Oh no, I don't know that one. No.
It's a boutique amp built by a guy in Surrey called Jesse Hoff. But yeah, it's basically like a hot rodded Fender Deluxe
No.
style amp, like Tweed Deluxe. And that's it really. And I have a an overdrive pedal made by Jesse as well, the same guy. And that's basically my whole rig. Um,
Oh, you don't use no well, I guess no delays, no
no, not really, to be honest.
not
I have a tremolo pedal that I
uh,
use sometimes. A
and
Flint Strymon, I think it's called.
oh yeah, Simon Flynn. I got that one, but it's not my
Yeah.
favorite tremolo. I have one that I like better.
Which
So,
one's that?
Rocket pedals, J Rocket.
No,
You don't
I don't
know?
know if I do actually.
They have a very famous pedal, the Animal. Tim Pierce has like also a pedal with them, and they have a tremolo. It's called Joe Smith tremolo, and that's amazing. That's
Okay, I'll check it out.
yeah, check it out. J Rocket. They are very pretty famous. Yeah, a lot of big artists bring their pedals. And what else? Ah, yeah. I want to ask you. You have when you were young. I think you were living in Dubai, and
Yeah.
you changed many places. So did that like all living in several places? Did that influence you like musically, like in terms of composing, writing, or?
I don't know if living in Dubai in and of itself had an impact, but I think at that age, moving to a new country and having to kind of start from scratch, not having many friends, feeling a bit lost, I think music was a big kind of source of comfort for me at that time. And I really got into it quite obsessively. And maybe if I'd stayed in England, it wouldn't have worked out in the same way. But yeah, it definitely was a big source of like of solace for me, somewhere where I could go when I was feeling down or whatever. And um, yeah, when you move to a new country or you move to a new place and you feel uncomfortable and you're not settled. Music was definitely there for me when I was feeling like that.
And in terms of learning, because I imagine like as a guitarist, when you started learning, I mean, you have to practice quite a bit. So how was it like? I cannot imagine you arriving to Dubai like, okay, did you have teachers in UK before you went to Dubai? How was your learning process of music and guitar?
Yeah, I did have some teachers, uh, but a lot of my learning was done just independently, really, just listening to the music and trying to copy it, and then taking it to my teachers. I mean, I was very lucky that I had people who didn't force me to be a certain way. You know, they saw that I loved what I loved, you know, the blues, and they nurtured that. They didn't say, "Oh, you got to play classical instead, or you got to play this style." And yeah, they just let me do what I wanted to do, which was great for me. And you know, they just helped me develop the stuff that I was already into, as opposed to, like I say, like, you know, forcing me to learn scales or
Mm.
just do something that I wasn't interested in.
Nice. And you were voted and as let me see, like the Young Artist of the Year at the UK Blues Awards for 3 years in a row. So I guess that must be like, great feeling. But and did that winning those prizes, did that open the door for you to get to bigger audiences and to get signed for a record label and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I think it all helps, you know, and obviously it's recognition, which I'm really grateful for. Uh, you know, I tend to think with music, it's not necessarily about the awards, you know, but obviously it's nice to have them, and it's nice to be recognized and appreciated by the community that you're in. So yeah, I'm really grateful for them, and yeah, you know, I'm very proud to have won those awards.
Hmm.
By the way, I think I might have to
Yeah,
go because I've got another interview, and I think I'm running a
yeah.
bit
So we're running
behind.
out of time. So well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish you all the best, and I know you will. I mean, we will hear about you a lot because your work is amazing, and I really discovered great artists. So
Oh,
thank you
thank you so
for
much.
sharing this time with me, and we
Oh,
hope,
my pleasure. Really great to meet you.
I hope to see you soon playing here in Madrid.
I hope so too. Take
Okay,
care. All the
take
best.
care.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.